Kelly, thanks for opening the app. We got your response and your request for response, and thank you for the opportunity to do that. We thought we'd put your answers into BabbleSnap because this is the platform that you're going to be using. So this way you can interact with it, you can get it, smell it, taste it, feel it, and it becomes real. So we have responded to the details of what you've asked for in the learning cards below, but I just wanted to give you a quick high-level run-through. When looking at leadership programs and trying to understand why they work or why they don't work, Marshall Goldsmith, I think, phrased it perfectly when he said, "It's not our understanding of the practice of leadership that's the problem. It is our practice of our understanding of leadership that's the problem." I mean, every time we ask groups of people, how many leadership programs have you actually attended? The answers we get is huge. It goes from 4 to 15. So to a certain degree, you could say, well, why do you want to do another one? And the kernel of the answer is always, they don't deliver ongoing behavior change. And why is that? We've identified through exhaustive research 6 reasons as to why the programs fail and 3 reasons as to why the individuals fail. And I'm going to run you through that below. But before I do, I want to quickly just tell you a very quick story that I think I mentioned last time, but it's the difference between Planck knowledge and chauffeur knowledge. Max Planck won the Nobel Prize just after the First World War for what was then called quantum mechanics, is now called quantum physics. And he traveled all around Germany delivering this very, very complicated speech and talk and presentation as to what he did in his research and why he won the Nobel Prize. And after doing a number of cities, he finally got to Munich. And his chauffeur said to him, "Do you know, Max, I've now heard you do this presentation so many times that I think I could actually do it." Now, Max was a bit of a larrikin, or so the story goes. And he said to his chauffeur, "Okay, well, let's have a go." So they swapped caps and coats. And Max sat in the back and the chauffeur got on the stage and for 3.5 hours delivered an incredibly technical presentation. And remember, back then they had no slideshows, to a standing ovation. People loved it. And then somebody put up their hands and they asked a question. And the chauffeur stood there and he said, "Do you know, I'm so disappointed in that question, that in a city as enlightened and as brilliant as Munich, that's the question I'm getting. That I'm actually going to flick it to my chauffeur to answer because it's that rudimentary." And he asked Max to answer it. Now, why did he do that? He'd learned the material rote, which is more, frankly, than a lot of the people that goes through your leadership programs do. But he didn't design and develop or build a mental lattice work of models that he could draw on to deliver the learning in a different way. So as we explore why leadership programs fail and how we've addressed it and therefore why it is we think we should work with you, you'll see that our entire approach is to A, make sure that you apply your understanding of the practice of leadership and that we give you Planck knowledge, not chauffeur knowledge.